Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we have my November plan with me in my bullet journal. So I put a poll up on Twitter, as per usual, asking you guys which theme you would most prefer to see, and Nighttime Forest won this month. So I've been wanting to do this theme for a while, but I always keep chickening out because I have these ideas that I want to do with like watercolor paper and stuff like that for the front page, and I kind of just decided to dive in head first this time round and just do it. Mostly because you guys also asked for it, so here we are. I'm just using a random piece of scrap A5 watercolor paper that I have in my scraps of paper area. This is the reason why I keep everything, is just for moments like this where I just need a bit of paper to do a gradient on, obviously. So I did a little gradient with my watercolors of like a sort of nighttime-esque sky or like a sunset-ish sky, and then I cut it out. And I didn't really mind too much with the bottom of it because I'm going to cover it in black pen because I'm going to draw a nighttime forest on top of it. So heads up, this month's theme was very experimental. I barely planned for it and it was a bit messy, but in the end, I don't mind how it looks. So we're gonna work with it. So I went in with a bunch of Fineliners and just brush pens and black pens that I had in general. I used mainly the large Pigma brush pen in black, and also my Sakura Koi brush pen in black, and also my Pentel sign pen marker in black. I then went in at the top and added November, and because it was very dark, I then had to go around it on the outsides with a white gel pen, which ended up looking a little bit messy, but you know, it works, so whatever. And I also then added a moon and some stars to the night sky that we have here. And after this, I decided to kind of fix up the page a little bit and go for something a little bit more dark, as I wanted the whole theme to be, you know, obvious that it was nighttime forest themed. So I decided to go in and basically cover up the rest of the page black. And yeah, I had to let it dry for a while, otherwise it would smudge onto the other page. And for this, I just used my Pentel brush pen in large, so I could cover as much surface area as fast as possible. After that was done and dried, I went on into my monthly spread. And for this, I thought it'd be really cute to do like a nighttime forest that is showing behind all the items on the page. So I sketched out all of the, you know, boxes and items that would be on the page, and then just basically drew around them. I just drew out a bunch of trees and just kept going at it. It was very therapeutic to do such repetitive work and just always drawing trees. I wouldn't recommend doing this if you don't like to do tedious repetitive work, but it was definitely fun for me. And for most of this, I used, again, my Koi Sakura brush pen and my Pentel sign and my Pigma brush pens. Just an accoutrement of pens, really. All the brush pens I could find were perfect for this task. And after that, I went in and added basically the rest of the items on the page. I wrote out November over there in the top left. I did an outline on the monthly calendar and on my monthly goals and my YouTube planner section on the left there. And thankfully this month there was no mistake on the calendar like there was last month. Thank God. And then I was just using some of my Art and Fly Fineliners to add in all of the thinner lines on the calendar, and etc, etc. And then I thought the space over there at the top was looking a little bit too blank, so I just added some little trees and plants and stuff that would be, you know, coming into frame of sorts. And then I added a little dot onto every day of the month on the calendar, which is where I was then going to write the days of the month in them. With a white gel pen. And then of course I wrote in the days of the week on the little oval boys at the top with Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, etc. And after that was done, it was time for my habits and expense trackers. So I again drew out the calendar 9 times, as I usually do for my habits tracker. I just really love this format. And I drew it out, just the outline of it 9 times, and then added a little label at the top of each one, which is where I'm going to write which habit it is I'm tracking. And for some reason, my camera decided to turn itself off for the remainder of this. But what I did is I just added some trees to the background of this page, as well as the title habits tracker. And then of course I went in with my white gel pen and added a label to each habit. And that was pretty much it for my habits tracker. I'm then going to just fill in each of the days that I do fulfill my tracker with a black dot. And then for my expenses tracker, you guys know me, always simple, always the same layout for this spread. I just made my little table where I will be writing in my expenses coming in and coming out. And I actually forgot to do the little interlocking gray line on each row while I was on camera, but I did do it later, so it's all fine, guys, don't worry. And of course, added a drop shadow because you know me. So with my expenses and habits trackers done, it was time to go on to the next double spread, which is my brain dump. And for this one, again, I kept it very simple. For the brain dump, it's always best to keep as much space empty as possible because you never know if you're going to run out of space for all your lists. And I have a lot of lists, so you know, I keep it as simple as possible. So I just added some trees over there at the bottom on each corner, just to make do with a theme, but still keeping as much space as possible on the page. Also, pro tip, I was using a scrap piece of paper behind each page that I was doing trees on, just so I didn't write on the table or on the next page. Just a pro tip to keep things clean. So yeah, and then I just wrote in dump over there at the top with my white gel pen. I went over it again later just so it was more vibrant. And then again, my camera did that thing again. I'm so sorry, it just stopped recording. But I just did my weekly spread for the first week, which was just 3 days, day 1, 2, and 3. And it was very simple, so I guess you can just see what I did. I just added 3 rectangles and then some trees in the back. And so on the page here on the left, I just turned it into a mood tracker. And because we're doing sort of a nighttime forest theme, I thought it'd be nice to do like something to do with the moons and how the moon looks at night, and use different gradients of the nighttime sky as the tell for each mood that I'm feeling, if that makes any sense. You can see the key on the page when I'm done with it. So yeah, once that was done, this is how it ended up looking. It was a bit of a mess and a bit of a journey, but we got there in the end, fam. I hope you learn from my mistakes if you do recreate these spreads, and if you do recreate them, tag me on them on social media. I love seeing them always. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a lovely November, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.